Hi, and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. I'm Bobby Quarters. Chaos is here with me as well. We just wanted to thank you for watching.
Yes. Hey, Bobby.
And hey, and while you're here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on YouTube as well as Chaos and the podcast channel, which all three of those channels will be streaming this very show you're about to watch. These counselors start dropping dead, left and right. Heinous killings. Turns out, that kid who drowned the year before, his mother came back to that camp and exacted revenge.
Can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
It's good that Bill's always available to do our intro for us, which he does live every day.
Yes, I'm happy. And we feed him a very healthy diet of breadcrumbs and crushed aluminum cans, as well as Reese's empty Reese's cups. Papers.
You know, I feel like I'm spoiling him because I just give him fish heads.
Oh. Well, like, you know, he gets the packaging. You know, he can lick it.
No, but yeah. So no intro today because I didn't have time to put one together. Crazy weekend this weekend.
Yeah, it was.
But
it was a little bizarre.
But yeah, got everything watched just barely on my end, and yeah, I totally forgot about an intro. If I was thinking, I probably would have done it last night, but yeah, I was more into just relaxing for the rest of the night after fishing off New Blood. Yeah, so no intro, but we're covering Distinguished Gentleman. One of Eddie Murphy's early 90s movies. I would argue probably one of his better 90s entries, but we'll get into it.
I'd say it's definitely one that's overlooked, but underappreciated.
Yeah, there's definitely like highlights in that. And there's like, I think, clever ideas. We'll get more into it. But the Distinguished Gentleman, we'll also go into Black Christmas, 1974 original.
Yeah.
Starring a surprising number of faces that I was like, I know that person.
I know that person. Yeah. I know that person.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of the Bob Clarke edition because we've already covered the original Christmas Story, so we had to cover his first film, the film he made to finance A Christmas Story.
And then
Black Christmas.
And then we're diving into Dexter. We're a little behind on Resurrection, but you know what? We're a little behind in general because I know I talked to Bobby and like he had started New Blood but never finished it, and I had never even started it. And so yeah, we'll be talking about kind of our history of the series Dexter, which we've done before, but we'll do it more specifically this time.
We've always teased and just talked about Dexter randomly, and we also just kind of figured, well, you know, at this point we will fill up so much time that we would just be getting to New Blood this time next year if we went through this season, like season by season. Mm-hmm. So
and I you know, this was a series I've seen a lot of seasons multiple times. I have it pretty much etched in for the most part, my opinion on the whole series.
Yeah, I've kind of rewatched it a few times. Like I can kind of like, yeah, I know what happens in each season, the main points. So yeah.
So we'll go over our history of Dexter and then talk about the first 5 episodes of New Blood, which I definitely have thoughts. Yeah. But yeah, starting out, distinguished gentleman, Eddie Murphy, 1992. I don't quite know if this was quite in his slump period, but it's at least starting his slump
I
period.
think people
Where
call this part of the slump period, but that's just that. There's also people who believe that an entire film franchise is going to come back because of acquired business transactions, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, I'll be honest, there's a couple in his slump period that I've seen that I thought were totally fucking decent. But yeah, there are, of course, shit burgers as well. But this is Distinguished Gentleman, the story of a con artist who decides to run for Congress. Which I'll be honest, I think premise alone, I think that's a hilarious and kind of clever premise. That
it is.
Yeah, kind of. And I think the movie does a decent job kind of exploring that, because he goes in there and like, I love all his little speeches and stuff, the few speeches he does, because his whole campaign is essentially vote for me, Jeff Johnson, the name you know. So Jeff Johnson is a congressman we see in this movie, played by James Garner, fucking legendary actor. But yeah, he dies in a very dignified and noble way, late in his office working. His secretary.
In a totally James Gardner way.
Yeah. But anyways, Eddie Murphy decides to run because his name is Thomas Jefferson Johnson. So he just decides to cut off his first name, just run as Jeff Johnson. Literally gets campaign material from the guy's widow. Just cuts off the stuff that says reelect and just runs as Jeff Johnson, never shows his face, and everything he says is literally just a platitude. Like, you don't need to ask what Jeff Johnson stands for. You know what Jeff Johnson stands for. And this Tuesday, you need to vote for what Jeff Johnson. It's like complete bullshit.
Why am I telling you this? You're already gonna go and do it.
Yeah. Like, you got this. You know what you're voting for when you vote for Johnson. Complete platitudes, which like we all recognize so clearly anymore.
But yeah,
but that's not even the highlight of the movie. The highlight of the movie is for me when he gets elected, and like everybody's like, you just coast in on pure name recognition. Fucking brilliant strategy, bro. Like, why didn't I think of that? That was great. Like, everybody, like, that's the deal. Like, he's a con man who cons his way into Congress, and part of the highlight of this movie is that like he's just like every other fucking congressman there. Like, they're all the same thing. Like, in fact, I would argue a couple. What he encounters is Dick Dodge, as played by Lane Smith, who I would argue is a much bigger con man than Eddie Murphy's character is, Jeff Johnson, Thomas Jefferson Johnson. But yeah, I'm kind of taking this over. What are your thoughts kind of on this, Bobby?
I really enjoyed this, definitely more than I thought I would. I mean, yeah, because I had kind of heard that this is one that wasn't as one of his funnier ones, but I really like the idea behind it.
The idea behind it's great.
It's really funny.
Yeah. Oh my god, the gun lobby is comedy gold.
Yeah, there is some pretty. Yeah, the gun lobby scene was just and but I kind of like how he first realized, like, oh, holy crap, there's like nothing but con men here. So he outconned them, and it was kind of like it was definitely like a great story to watch. Like the bad guys get their upcomings, but I could see how in '92 this would just be such an unrealistic thing to.
Yeah, and now we know this is kind of just how it works. This is now we just know this
is the norm.
Yeah,
and also, I mean, I have to admit, hearing the amounts of money after a while, going, I mean, that's not. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I do. I do feel like this movie, like the beginning and a lot of the middle is kind of brilliant. Like, there's this great moment where he finds out that there's this bell that randomly goes off, and the guy he's talked to is like, I'm gonna go vote. By the way, the guy he's talked to is played by the great Charles S. Dutton, who's like he plays one of the few guys who was in Con Man there, who's just genuinely trying to do a good job. Completely fucking outnumbered there, by the way. But yeah, the bell goes off to vote, and he's like, I'm gonna go vote. And Thomas Johnson's like, wait, that's what that bell's for? Oh my God, I thought it was like some sort of alarm or something. I thought school's out.
Well, did you recognize one of the guys in his group?
Whose group?
Eddie Murphy, like his friend group. Armando.
Pretty much just from this movie.
Armando. He was Magic Mike in Blood In and Blood Out.
Was he? Oh shit.
Think a mustache. Put a mustache on him.
I can see that, yeah.
Like a glorious mustache and that hair.
I don't know. There's not that many pictures in this for this movie.
I'll go down and just look at like an actor for Armando.
But like he goes to vote, and he puts in his card. He has no idea what he's voting on, so he just votes nay and then walks out. Yeah. And then this class asks him, "Oh, there he is, Victor Rivers."
Yeah, Victor Rivers.
Yeah.
You'll scroll down a little, and you'll see the
cult favorite, Blood In, Blood Out.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
But anyways, he goes to vote. He votes nay, and this class is like, what just happened? And he's like, that was a vote. I voted. And they're like, really? What did you vote for? He's like, well, I voted nay because it was a terrible bill. And they're like, yeah, but what was it on? And then a couple other congressmen come out, and he's like, hey, they were just asking me about this bill. And what did you guys think of the bill? And they're like, oh, well, it was a bill on the previous motion to it was some just gobbledygook. It was so clear. You have this collection of congressmen voting on something they have no idea what it is, and it's like, oh my God, like,
yeah,
this feels real.
that feels painfully real. Yeah.
But yeah, it's open corruption in this, which is clear. And my issue is with this movie is there is a more serious turn where like they actually have this girl who has cancer, and they're dealing with this cancer cluster due to power lines in this little town. And the movie takes a serious turn, and the problem is, and I feel this is kind of a direction issue. I feel like the director doesn't quite know how to handle the serious turn.
Yeah,
so it plays it way sillier than it should. Although it does have a couple dramatic moments.
It did, but okay, the scene where they're at the actual school field.
Yeah,
I know how that scene should make me feel while I'm watching the movie, but it didn't make me feel that way. Instead, it kind of made me more of like an on edge sort of feeling. And I'm thinking there's no reason for the atmosphere to be giving me tense. Like for some reason, I'm feeling very tense watching this scene. And like it just felt a little off.
Yeah, and I will say, one scene that I was actually surprised worked was the scene where they first meet the little girl in the office and her wig falls off.
Yeah, that was
kind of worked for me. And then the next scene in the town, it just didn't. It wasn't quite syncing up.
Yeah, that one in the office, because like honestly, the kid walked in and instantly I was like, oh,
yeah. Like, she has that like slightly oversized hat on. And it's like, oh,
like y'all should be able to recognize this immediately. Like,
yeah. But I mean, honestly, I kind of get, like, it kind of almost plays into the movie that they didn't recognize it immediately because they're just so like in their own fucking
they're focused on the grift, and then they realize, you know what, we could actually do some good here.
Yeah.
And they did do good. What I also loved actually every member of his friend, even She McBride. Like he's always just delightful.
Yeah,
in a movie.
His little con team is fun, and they're all memorable. They all have their moments to shine. And
Oh,
Eddie Murphy gets to his shtick a lot, which is almost always a delight.
and who would have thought that Joe Don Baker and Lane Smith would be the bad guys in this movie?
Yeah, Mitchell.
Fucking and like Lane Smith, who is just always he's good at just playing an old asshole.
Yeah, yes, he is. But yeah, I like this is one like I think the ending's underwhelming. And again, I think it's largely due to direction. I think the story is there for this to kind of be this fun comedy that kind of hits you hard at the end. But yeah, I don't feel the director. I think it was directed by Jonathan Lynn, who is not somebody I'm super familiar with. And I think one of the things that kind of shows that like he wasn't putting his all into it is like at the end of this, you got like the pictures of the star and their name next to him. And then the love interest, Celia Kirby, as played by Victoria Rao. What I thought was wild was the picture they used for her credit was out of focus and blurry. And I was just like, you couldn't get a better picture of her? Like, come on, what are you doing? And to me, it just kind of shows that like maybe the director's like heart wasn't in this. And I think that's a shame because I think there's like a premise and an idea here that really works. And I think in a lot of times it does overall work. I mean, for the most part, the beginning and the first and second act, for the most part, work decently well for me.
Yeah, me too.
And I think the third act could have worked well, pretty much almost verbatim with what they had, if just handled a little bit differently. But still, at the end of the day, I would still say this is worth checking out. If nothing else, for how quaint it views Congress.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to see because they don't make comedies like these days.
No, they
and
don't.
It would kind of really be nice to see one, of just poking fun at it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, anything else you want to add, or should we dive into Black Christmas?
Oh yeah, let's talk about some Black Christmas because politicians are really great at gaslighting. So is one character in this movie that he really needs to. Oh my God!
I mean, there's no horror greater than Congress, I'll say. But
yeah, true. But this is definitely a prototype of the slasher film.
Yes, this is very early slasher film.
I mean, you can see where Halloween drew inspiration from this.
Yeah, and you can definitely see the inspiration that like when you watch, it's like, oh yeah, I definitely see how Halloween got inspired by this.
Yeah,
surprising. Like when I put this on, and I went out to the kitchen to get dinner started, and I was like, I gave the remote to my daughter. I was like, hey, pause if there's anything significant, but I'll be kind of watching because there's like there's a hole in the wall for in between the kitchen and living room, so I can watch and watch a lot of stuff while I'm getting stuff ready. Yeah. And like pretty early on, like I hear her voice and I look over, I'm like, oh shit, Margot Kidder is in this, isn't she?
Yes.
It's like, yes, she very much is. But yeah, no, there's a like Olivia Hussey is in this, and the other name that John Saxon. I did not know he was in this at all. And all of a sudden, I
completely forgot he was in there, and it was like, fuck yes. And then first scene with him going, and of course he's the only competent cop in this whole department.
Yes. Oh, really? So it's the same director that did. So I assume this is Jonathan Lynn, the same guy who did Clue and Whole Nine Yards. Which, frankly, I think he did a much better job with those movies. It's a shame he didn't put the same effort into Distinguished Gentleman, in my opinion. But yeah, I did not realize it was the same guy who did those. But yeah, so Black Christmas is like it's kind of like if I describe it, it's just gonna be like you're like most any slasher movie.
Yeah.
Except the focus here is at this sorority house.
Yeah, it's definitely like how I said, it's like a prototype of definitely a proto slasher film.
Yeah.
It has a lot of the same beats that we see throughout every other horror film.
Mm-hmm. No, there's some clever direction here. Like, yeah, seeing her in the through the plastic wrap,
Yeah,
and
that
then also
was
knowing her fate, I think is very clever. Mm.
yeah, that's also really cool in a perspective thing. Like
Yeah.
of and it seeing that going like, yeah, that's some Michael Myers stuff, but there is no Michael Myers in the world at this point. So
Yeah.
yep, Carpenter saw that, was like, oh, that's great.
Mhm.
Of course, the camera's perspective.
I mean, I'll be
Oh.
honest. I think Carpenter saw this, said, "Ooh, this is really good. I bet you I could do better." And yeah, although not to say this is bad, because I do think
This is
that
done
this
very
is
well.
pretty cool.
This was done very well.
Yes, it's a very well done movie. There's actually lots of clever edits. Like, there's a point where one of the women's about ready to scream, and and as she opens her mouth to scream, the phone rings, and then it transfers to the phone. And it's like, that was clever.
That's just more of like, oh man, that's awesome.
But I will say the thing that did drive me absolutely insane. So, like, there's this girl, Claire.
Yes.
She's like the first victim. She goes missing. And, everybody, they eventually go to the cops and they're like, yeah, we can't find her. We don't know where she's at. Here's the deal. She's in the attic next to a fucking window. At least her body is. And they can't find her.
Not only that, like where this attic is, it's an older house. So like
Yeah.
I would say Victorian maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, it's interesting enough is it doesn't take place over the course of one night. Like,
No.
it takes place over the course of like a couple of days and one night. Yeah, this guy is probably the most useless cop in film history. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't find water in a lake.
Yes.
I mean,
you are correct, Chris. It's a horror film, and they are cops. It's like you're true.
oh, true, but this guy, he sets that bar for every dumb cop in horror movies ever. But that guy, oh my god, he couldn't find water in a lake. Like, I just wow. The incompetence. That's why I was so relieved when I saw John Saxon.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's gonna be competent, right? He's gonna.
Yeah,
yes,
and of course, they become effective at that point.
Yeah.
So the story is, it starts. Well, one of the girls, was it the main girl?
Olivia Hussey. I don't remember.
Yeah, Olivia Hussey's character. Yes.
I know I've seen. Well, there she is. It doesn't. I thought it would list her name.
I should list
her name's Olivia Hussey.
Olivia. No, it's Jess Bradford.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So we see her have a phone call from her boyfriend, or she calls her boyfriend named Peter, and tells Peter that she's pregnant, or kind of alludes to it, but like, we have to talk. And he's like, I don't have time to talk about this. I have this big thing. And it was just like, wow, the gaslighting immediately.
Yeah.
Like, just over the phone. It's like, okay, fine, we'll talk tomorrow. Whatever. Fine. It's like, oh.
Don't you think that's important? Douchebag?
Yeah, no, he had to sleep for something that, he was distracted, that he also later blamed her for. But,
yeah.
Again, just wow.
Spoiler alert if you watch this. Her boyfriend's a douchebag.
Yeah, he really is. But I cannot confirm if we get that satisfaction that usually comes in a horror film.
Yeah.
Well, we do, but not the way we all hope for. But and it starts off with like the sorority house just getting these lewd phone calls of what they all seem pretty normal. So I guess it happens. They're all kind of used to it. Yeah, it's
almost become like a joke for them.
Yeah, which, that, for the record, that's not cool.
Don't
do that.
It's gross.
Yeah.
Before we move too far away from the boyfriend being a douchebag, like him wrecking that grand piano. What a fucking douchebag.
I mean, I'll admit I was wincing during his recital, because I was just, oh god, dude, you're terrible. Maybe this world needs bartenders.
But yeah.
Yeah, he was bad. So yeah, this And so pretty much, I guess it starts with this first perspective. The film does start with this. We should mention this of the guy crawling in. We never get a good look at the guy, whoever the killer is, or anything like that. We just see his perspective and kind of hear him talking a lot. Spoiler alert, he's also the guy making the phone calls, but we don't find that. And this is also kind of a bit off the old folklore of that old babysitter urban legend. You know, the calls are coming from inside the house.
Yeah, we literally get that scene here. The calls
are
inside the house.
Yeah, because it's like an urban legend sort of thing. But yeah, and one by one, he kind of starts killing some of the sisters. And there's speculation that it's Peter, but we never get confirmation about that. But yeah, all the girls we meet die, even their house mother, who honestly, she was kind of one of my favorite characters in the movie.
I know. She like how she was trying to cover up the nudity and shit. She was actually kind of fun. And she was the only one competent enough. So like here's the body in the attic. Like, and when you look in through the window, you can clearly see her. And the cat is there crying multiple times in the movie, trying to get people to notice that she's there. And nobody looks. And it kind of drives me insane. Because if my cat's crying, I'm usually going to go check out and see what's up. Because, you know, there's a difference between just like general meowing and like the crying.
Freaking out meowing like that cat was doing. Like, it's like, oh, kitty. Yes.
It's like there's something up. What is up? You sound not right.
What's wrong, kitty?
Yeah.
What's up,
and because cat is the only one capable enough to find Claire's body.
And don't worry, the cat's fine.
Yeah, the cat is fine. I was concerned something would happen to the cat.
Yeah, that's just more of like, I swear to God, if he fucking hurts that cat.
I would not be prepared. Just fucker.
I'll be satisfied if the cat scratches the shit out of his eyeball.
But yeah, the only one who actually checks the attic is the house mother, and that's when she becomes body number 2 in the movie.
Like, and kind of done very well.
Yeah.
Like, we see her kind of crawling up through the crawl space, and then she sees the body, and then she hears something behind her, and it's the killer with like a chain and a hook, and we see it from the perspective of the hook swinging, and then we just go downstairs and have a shot of the ladder and hear it.
By the way, the hook was pretty savage. I wouldn't expect that from a hook, but of course it is a movie. But
I mean, it's more of like, wow, so we get to only imagine what we're hearing, and that's done very well. And again, another trope of the slasher horror films was born right there.
No, there's lots of clever stuff that you can see that introduced here. By the way, like that's kind of it for the body count for most of it.
I mean, like Margot Kidder, or not Margot Kidder. Yeah, Margot Kidder.
Yeah,
and
Margot Kidder.
Another girl die. They both die at the same time, and kind of really messed up.
Yeah, like I want to say it's like early Act 3. Like I want to say the beginning of Act 3 is pretty much the death of Margot Kidder.
But she also has some funny scenes where she is just the drunk girl in the sorority house.
Dude, like she is always drunk and smoking in this movie.
It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Like she convinces that really ignorant and dumb cop, the one who couldn't find water in a boat in a lake. She tells him the number is like starting with letters, and she spells out fellatio, and he does not get it. Oh. And that later goes
wild. It's like, how dense are you? Holy shit.
Like just going, and I heard, I was like, wait, what?
Like, not only did she say it like a couple of times, she spelled it out, and he just went with it. And I'm like, how are you this fucking stupid, bro?
Like, I was reading something on IMDb about it, and that scene, then she said it, and I was kind of, that's funny. I go, let's see if he's gonna buy it. And he's like, could you spell that, please? I go, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. It's like she's slamming him in the head with it, and I think
the best scene is later is when the detectives get it. He goes to see it, like the other cops already seen it, and just is dying laughing.
Yeah.
When they meet, like, oh, was your friend at the station later? Yeah.
Mm,
And Olivia's like, "Oh yeah, there's the scene of him at the piano."
yeah, it's him when he's
This is also when
playing
he's like
it. That
super
poor piano.
gaslighting.
That more.
He's super gaslighting in this scene.
Oh,
Like,
dude. Like, is there a scene in this where he isn't just a terrible douchebag?
what's some of the chestnuts that he said? I can't believe you would think of doing something like that without considering me.
Yeah.
She was thinking of aborting the baby, and and he said that just going with the fuck what?
Well, I mean, he's been so fucking supportive. I don't know why she would consider that.
Yeah, I'm just going like, I just think like, God, what is it? Something about that, like their future together. Go and do something like that and would destroy their future together.
Oh my
Like,
God.
My God, the gaslighting on this one.
Yeah, no, he is awful.
But the killer we don't get to see a lot of the killer. Oh, poor kid.
No, it is a big mystery throughout. Like there's especially as it goes on, there's more drops that would be the boyfriend. But yeah,
we just never confirm it because the only thing we really get to see of the killer is just his eye.
Yeah, we really don't get to see much of the killer at all in this movie.
Like there's a close call where he's behind the door and we see the eyeball peeking, and our survivor girl, our last one, like the smart cookie she is, kicks the door at him. And we hear thuds and like him screaming in agony and pain. It's like, and then she gets up and runs down the stairs.
Nah.
But that was her fault, though. The police did call her and say, "Hey, the calls are coming from inside the house. I need you to go out to the front door and leave immediately." The cops are on their way.
It's weird. I'm going over this artwork, and a lot of it I like, and the only stuff I'm kind of not liking is like the newer stuff from obviously post 2000 DVD artwork and shit.
Possibly from the remake, because they did remake this.
That's true. I think there's been at least
have
they remade this twice? Maybe.
I'd hope not.
Wasn't it a big deal that the last one was like PG-13, which
I mean, every single great horror movie that they tried to remake through the early 2000s from the 70s was always like PG-13 after that. Like The Fog was one, because the original Fog, if I remember correctly, that's rated R. And the remake was just terrible. The original Hills Have Eyes was great. The remake.
Well, I mean, I miss directors like John Hughes, who are completely cool with giving Planes, Trains, and Automobiles an R rating just to maintain one scene. And to his credit, that scene is fucking gold.
That's called not compromising for your art.
Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll take an R rating because that scene is fucking glorious. So
yeah, that is just it. I think it's great because you just watch it all build and and you just know it's coming. Yeah, there.
Oh yeah, this is the house mother. Like they had some nudity on a poster, and she's like trying to
because
our
first girl who passed, her dad was came off immediately as a bit of an uptight guy. I mean, situational, completely understandable. But later he kind of became all about the good fight and the good cause. Yeah.
But yeah, this is just a decent, well done little slasher movie. And for me, I just wish they could have like maybe not put her body next to the window, because that drove me nuts through so much of this. They spent a lot of this looking for Claire's body, and it's like, have you tried looking in your windows?
Yeah.
But yeah, like overall, this is a very well done movie. clearly setting up the slasher genre for later. Clear inspiration was drawn from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I kind of dig this.
And it's also made by the same guy who made A Christmas Story.
Yeah, true horror right there.
I mean,
he might have shot his eye out. He might.
I like the Tin Man.
Oh God. Well, anything else you want to add, Bobby, or shall we dive into Dexter?
Let's take our dive into Dexter. And
all right. Well, before we get fully into New Blood, I guess let's kind of go over our history of Dexter.
Yeah. This was definitely a show that I was late to the party for.
Oh, okay.
Like I wasn't watching it as it was coming out or anything like that.
Oh, really? When did you go into it?
Probably 2015, maybe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a couple years after it ended. Okay.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to because I kept hearing really good things, and then mixed reviews of stuff. And I think the biggest thing was at the time, I just wasn't the fan of the lead. I just didn't think he was that great of an actor, and some other stuff I'd seen him in.
Oh,
just kind of.
I wasn't familiar with him until Dexter. So.
I think I'd seen him in something that he had done after this show, like he had gotten because of it or whatever. I can't remember what, but. I had just eventually just decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going to just try it out, watch the first season, like, thanks to I think it was on Netflix then.
Yeah.
So I just watched all of it and, the entire first season. I was like, okay, this is a great show. Like, yeah. And I guess I was just hooked after that.
Yeah. So I started, when season 1 came out, I wasn't really watching it, but I thought the premise was interesting. And I was kind of intrigued by it, but I never watched it. I heard good things about it. Then season 2 came out and people were still praising it. And at that point, I was like, okay, I kind of want to check this out. So I've been kind of actively watching the original pretty much after season 2. So I got caught up with season 1, season 2. Then by the time season 3 was out, I was kind of watching it kind of weekly, although I know I reached a certain point where I just started waiting for Blu-ray releases to come out because I kind of like just binging them when I had the chance.
Yeah.
That's how come I have most of the series on Blu-ray up to the last 2 seasons, which there's good ideas in those seasons. But I love the premise. I always thought Michael C. Hall did a really good job with it. I like the cast. I really I got Jennifer Carpenter's picture up there, an autograph. I thought she was great in the original Dexter. And we will talk about her in New Blood because mixed. It's always a series I've really enjoyed. I think season 1, 2, and 4 are fantastic.
Yes. I agree. I had to think for a minute.
Yeah.
I can't help but notice that you skipped season 3.
Season 3 is very flawed in my opinion. I like Jimmy Smits as an actor. I think.
I love Jimmy Smits.
I think he carries as much of that season as he can. But I would argue that I think season 5 is almost a season 3 redo, except done significantly better. And I think season 5 is better than people give credit to. I think it is totally decent season. It's just not as good as season 4 because what could possibly follow that epic finale? It's just like, God, that finale gave me trauma. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is dark shit. And then season 6, I think is okay. And then 7 and 8, I think, have good ideas, but the execution feels kind of sloppy. I remember after season 4 came out, I was like, wow, this series, this is dark, but I feel like it's getting to a point where it could resolve itself. And then after the success of season 4, they're like, okay, we've just renewed the series for 4 more years. I was just like, oh no. And it kind of did work out the way I feared, where it just kept on going. And I'm like, I feel like it was set up to end nicely, maybe 2 years after 4, but well. As it was overall, I am a fan of the series, and there's lots of things I really love about it. But yeah, what are some of your favorite seasons, Bobby?
4 is definitely, I mean, Trinity Killer is just like,
God,
that
yeah.
is just
John
top,
Lithgow was
that show.
disturbing.
Like, this is just like, this is why people love this show and this season. But I still think season 1 is really good. Ice Truck Killer it's a great story, introduces us, and we get to find out more about Dexter. I still think season 2 is definitely it's one of my favorites. I like that one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the great things about season 2 is, I like how they just do it with the second season.
But it's good, but there's a lot of it that really annoy me.
Well, yeah, but what I appreciate about season 2 is like every season there's like this serial killer the cops are after. And I appreciate that was season 2 was literally just they're after Dexter.
Yeah.
I like that twist. It's like, oh, they didn't take long to get to that. That's wild. They didn't.
And I thought it was like, oh wow, we're doing this already. I thought this would have been like how they closed the series, but okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And we said season 3, it's just, it kind of, this one
I like
drags
Jimmy
a little.
Smits. I
do. Season 5. Let me just read about season again. Just be reminded.
Yeah, that's
right. That's
Stiles
right.
Season.
Yes, I like this one a lot.
So do I.
Actually,
Yeah.
I really think this is a great one, and it gets a lot of like crap talked, but it's such a great comeback from Trinity.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think that one is essentially season 3 done better. Replace Jimmy Smits with Julia Stiles, and it's a lot of the same story, except I think it's done way, way better.
I enjoy 6 too.
6 is all right.
Colin Hanks is just like absolutely batshit, and it's kind of great.
Yeah, I like Edward James Olmos as spoiler the voice in his head, his dad. But then like Colin Hanks is just the serial killer is great.
And Colin Hanks is just like absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Season 7, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I had just to be reminded exactly what was 7 about. Yeah. This one was another one that I just felt dragged a little. And it was just kind of, oh, this one's bad. 8, this one I also didn't really care for that much.
They're good ideas. Like I loved, like in season 8, I loved the idea of like, because part of what was going off Dexter was him discovering that maybe his father should have given him like psychiatric help instead of like training him to be a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
Maybe he could have grown past that. And I thought that was an interesting thing to explore. And I thought it was especially interesting when like he met somebody else who, essentially there was this therapist that his dad took him to. The therapist kind of helped train him to be a serial killer. And then seeing that there was someone else that she also did kind of the same thing for, who like he clearly didn't have remotely the ethical code that Dexter did, despite like similar training, which shows you like the difference between Dexter and you're just your average serial killer. Dexter just cannot kill somebody unless they're guilty. Like he just like killing an innocent person just out of the question for him. And that shows you like he's just not a normal serial killer. That a lot of his behavior about needing to kill people is taught. It's not, fucking genetic or something. And I thought that was an interesting thing to explore. Execution wise, I thought it was sloppy as hell.
Yeah. See, now season 7 has an episode that I feel is completely out of place with it. And it's the one where he gets word that the drug cartel guy who ordered his mom's death in like the truck. I feel like that's a great episode, but I don't think it has any place in this late of the season. I kind of felt like that should have been wrapped up when he was taking care of the rest of that.
Yeah.
In 3. But the problem with it is that event leads LaGuerta to finding him, and that's when LaGuerta gets killed, which honestly I was by that point in the show, she had really kind of started to annoy me as a character.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I will say I've read the first book, and she
Yeah.
doesn't survive till the end of the first book. But I mean, I will also say, like in the early season 1 Dexter, like they tame this down as the series goes on. But like you can tell LaGuerta has a thing for Dexter,
Mm-hmm.
and like in the book, that's like kicked up to 11, where it's like,
Oh,
I'm trying to remember if it's borderline sexual harassment or if she's just full-fledged sexually harassing him, pretty much.
she's just being quite direct.
So yeah, she dies at the end of the first book, and it is intense in that book. It's like, Jesus Christ, this woman. But yeah, I did feel like Deborah finding out was kind of an interesting twist between was that between 7 and 8 or 6
I think that
and
was
7?
between 7 and 8.
Yeah, and
No, I
and
think it was
essentially
between,
what
no, I think it
what
was
happens to
between,
LaGuerta
I
was
think, no, I
kind of
think it was
wild
between
too.
6 and 7. Because didn't she walk in on him almost killing the Doomsday guy?
Maybe, yeah. It's been a moment, but
Yeah.
I do remember
Yeah,
she's the one that
it was
kills
at the end of
LaGuerta.
it was at the end of episode 6
Mhm.
or season 6.
Mhm.
And then, she just tried to treat it like it was he was in recovery.
Mhm. But then then
Again.
you get to the end of the season where LaGuerta finds out, and Deborah kills her because Dexter won't kill her because she's she's innocent.
And you even heard her saying, "We could work something out, Dex,"
Mhm.
which I kind of would have believed her.
Mhm.
I think she would have definitely, found something to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did think one of the moments I did like in the final episode, which I thought was okay. I thought for where they had gone, it was good enough. Which is why I was kind of mixed on doing a revival series to begin with.
Yeah.
But one of the things they did was pretty much that scene where kind of Angel and Quinn see Dexter kill the guy who killed Deborah. And they just kind of go, okay, we didn't see anything. It was just like, that was a cool moment.
Because I also buy that.
Yeah.
I buy that.
Mhm. Yeah, like they know how close Dexter and Deborah were.
I think
they see that happen and they're like, yeah, I didn't see anything.
At that point, he would also probably put a lot of it else together
Mm-hmm.
and would just say, never step foot in the state of Florida again.
Yeah.
I never want to see you again.
Mm-hmm. Probably I do get him living off on his own. Probably, in my opinion, the most questionable thing he did was leave Harrison with Hannah, which Hannah's kind of a fishy figure to begin with. But
yeah.
But yeah, that kind of brings us to New Blood. Anything you want to talk about the old Dexter before we get into the new series?
That was weird.
Series 2021.
Yeah, that was weird that he did leave Harrison there.
Yeah. But yeah, that picks up pretty much where this series is. New Blood. He's up north now, so instead of being in Miami, he's in
up
the
north.
frigid cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's eastern New York.
Yeah, I want to say they're not too far away from New York, I believe.
Yeah.
So instead of getting visions from Harry, he gets visions from Deborah
in this one.
Yeah, which Deborah was one of my favorite characters. I really enjoyed her in the original series, and I was happy to see her back.
Yeah.
That being said, outside of the occasional black humor joke they'll have her do, I am not a fan of his head version of Deborah at all. She drives me a bit insane whenever she pops up. And I get she's kind of the voice in his head telling him he can't do things, but I don't enjoy it. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay. This bothered me the first watch too, but on this rewatch, I was thinking more about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to think of how was she moments before her death towards Dexter? How was she treating him in those last few episodes before her death in the first season, first run? You remember that?
No, it's been a moment. How was she?
She was kind of cold and like angry, still angry with him for being
cold. I remember that. Yeah.
So I think of it as like, since she's the voice in his head, she is as he last remembered her.
Maybe, yeah. Because I will say, like, for the most part, she's kind of supportive of him in the first episode. And kind of that ends because so this is supposed to take place. I think it's supposed to be almost 10 years after the original series ended.
Yeah.
And it's technically 8 years, but it's supposed to be almost 10 years. And he hasn't had a kill since the original series. And to me, that kind of shows like insane growth. Like, you know, he's evolving. He's taken on the identity of James Lindsay, and he's been living that life. And he just like, it's kind of a twist because it feels just like the like what he considered the fake personality of Dexter Morgan that he created in the original series, except he's just living it. That's just his life.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, and that's the thing when you pretend to be something for so long, that starts being you, you know. And that's pretty much what we're seeing here. So he's never broken the rule, but then he, like in the first episode, he encounters this douchebag named Matt Caldwell.
Even sounds like a douchebag.
Yeah, just that name. It's like, God, what a douchey
fucking
name.
Caldwell.
But
fucking Caldwell.
Yeah, but like, you know, he goes into his shop. So Dexter works at a weapons shop. He goes to buy a gun. He's like, oh, there's a hole. And he's like, that hole doesn't mean anything. Sell it to me. And he's like, no, we're going to wait for the hole to clear. And then, you know, he's obviously not cool with that. And then he encounters Dexter later at a bar and he's like, hey, come to a party. And by the way, about that weapon. And Dexter's like, yeah, we'll wait for the fucking hole to clear. Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah, he's such a fucking douchebag. And yeah, and the thing, keep in mind, the weapon he's going after, it's not like just like normal hunting rifle. It's like an assault rifle he's going after.
Yes,
it's like,
yes,
oh
Jaybird.
My fucking God. Oh my.
Yes, Mr. Crab is in this movie.
But
Clancy is in this.
But yeah, so the dude's just being a complete douchebag, and then you see Dexter throughout the first episode following this like
beautiful
when it's standing
white buck.
still, it's a beautiful white deer. When it moves, it's a terribly computer generated white deer.
It's an aged computer generated, yes.
Yeah,
but a beautiful white buck.
Yeah. And he's just following it around. At first, you think he's hunting it, but then you realize he's kind of following it around.
Just enjoying, like, you know, staring at its beauty.
Yeah, and then he finds it, and he's staring at it, and then all of a sudden, bang! Somebody shoots it dead, and it's fucking Matt Caldwell with the fucking gun that he just got approved and sold. And Dexter just kind of loses it and fucking bashes him in the nose and wraps him up, and you know, he's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And the guy's like, you don't have to do that. And Dexter's like, yeah, we're actually past the point of no return. It's like, yeah, even I was thinking, I don't really think you can let him go at this point. I don't.
He ain't the type to be quiet, Dex.
Yeah.
You have the plastic laid out.
Yeah.
You like,
this is obviously something you've done before. This isn't some like last minute thing. Like probably the best thing you could have done is after you bash him in the nose with the gun, just walk away. Man.
I do love how he did it. He's just fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, that's his first kill in nearly 10 years. I guess we haven't gone to like. There's mostly new characters here.
Yeah.
There obviously the return of Dexter, but also like we have in his head Deborah. Probably the next major character is his new girlfriend Angela,
chief of police.
I mostly like her.
Which that's not. She's a chief of police.
Yeah.
And the last chief of police that he worked with had the hots for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say, I think Angela is way cooler than LaGuardia. But yeah, and you know, obviously, like we're dating the chief of police isn't that big of a deal until he starts killing again.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say that, like, I haven't finished this season yet. I don't like one of the ideas they seem to be flirting with in this season that I don't really like is the idea that, like, he will, like, this is just who he is. He will destroy everybody around him. He is just a serial killer and he will never beat it. I don't like that idea. And I'm not saying do a Dexter series where he isn't killing people, although I will say he's not killing a lot of people this season so far.
No, he's really not.
Yeah,
There's only been 2 kills so far.
I was about ready to say we are halfway through the season and we are at 2 kills. He does not have the highest kill count of characters this season so far. Which I guess, yeah, getting into the rest of the season, because we eventually in the second episode meet Matt's father, Kurt, as played by Clancy Brown. Totally dig him as an actor in general. His character here, I'm kind of, I don't know. They were doing this thing where they were concealing his identity of, like, because we had this guy who was obviously a serial killer who was keeping these girls hostage. And then we get little hints of who he is because we can definitely see it's like an older white guy that's doing it. But we have 2 older white guy characters that we've seen. It's Clancy Brown's Kurt Caldwell. But then there's also this rich billionaire asshole who's a complete piece of shit. Now, we're focused throughout the season, we've been focusing mostly on Kurt. But, like, the rich guy has always been there and just been a douchebag. And kind of made me, and it's worth noting, he's been a douchebag, but he plays nice to everybody. But he's a douchebag. And it made me wonder, like, who is the serial killer going to be? But then, like, they fairly quickly just established that it is very much Kurt. Which is, in my opinion, kind of the least interesting twist, but also,
I figured it was Clancy immediately.
I figured it would
because he's the actor I recognized other than the other old guy. And also I know that brow and nose and eyes, like I know that face.
Well, I mean, also I do get it because it's Clancy Brown. How can you not have him be the villain that goes up against Dexter? Yeah. I just wish it wasn't quite so obviously him, because as it was, I thought maybe it could be the other guy, but no, it was definitely him. So we also have to deal with the other major characters would be probably Audrey, who is Angela's daughter, and then we also have the Sergeant Logan, who's one of the cops there, who frankly in last episode really came off pretty badass.
You mean Coach Officer?
Yes, Officer Coach Logan.
Officer Coach. Yeah, Officer Coach.
Yeah. But then the last character I haven't mentioned yet is probably the second biggest character in the series, and that is Harrison, who finally tracks down his father to essentially say hi. And we are learning a bit of his dark pasture as we go. And I'm not gonna lie, when Harrison was first introduced and kind of as we learned a bit more about him, I was kind of liking him a lot. And then there's been some stuff coming up where it's like, ooh, probably most notably so far is that he made friends with a classmate, and then that classmate was being bullied by these kids really, really shittily too. And then essentially that classmate reveals that he's been drawing pictures of, like, killing off, like, a lot of these bullies. And then next thing we hear is essentially the call from the school saying that, like, Harrison was in an altercation. There's this kid gonna shoot up the school, and Harrison essentially stopped him but got stabbed. And Dexter is suspicious because kind of he knows who he is, but then he actually looks the blood spatter, which was actually a really cool scene, I thought.
Yeah.
And he and Deborah break down the blood spatter and are like, okay, the blood would splatter like this if it was Harrison's story. However, if it was Harrison that attacked and he just wanted to look like the other kid attacked him first, the blood spatter would look exactly like it looked on the crime scene.
The blood never lies.
Yeah. And it was this cool moment. I do kind of wish Actually, one of the things that kind of bugs me is I wish Dexter would just confront him with it. Be like, dude, I haven't said anything to the cops. I haven't said anything to Angela. But I've looked at the blood splatter. I know how this went
You
down.
do know what I did for a
Yeah.
living.
Yeah. I know what happened. I figured it out. I know listen, man, say what you will about Dexter. He was a good blood spatter analyst.
He was, and honestly,
he knew what he was doing.
I wish that we got more scenes like that
Yeah.
in the original series. Now, we got a lot of them early on
Yeah.
like that, which was really great, and I loved those scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Lila showed up and ruined that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked that scene, and even like with Deb working with him, all that. And I mean, you still gotta applaud both of those actors because they were married together.
Yes, the fact that they still work together so well after being married and divorcing throughout the course of the original
And from
series.
what I understand, it wasn't a nasty divorce or anything.
No, to my understanding, they're completely civil. And
and it was completely good, which is just it speaks volumes of them as people. But like, you gotta admit, she probably is enjoying that a little.
Yeah, just being the one who torments him. Yeah, it just got a little bit of fun.
Just a little bit of fun. That would have been the only question I would have wanted to ask her.
But I do like how Dexter is trying to be a good parent to Harrison. I do appreciate that.
Really like that he is that. We also need to mention that before that scene happened, we saw Harrison listening to a podcast, and he listened to something about the Trinity Killer, which, as we know from the original series, he, like his dad, had a traumatic incident happen when he was a baby. They were both born in blood, as they say.
Well, I will say it's a little bit different. In Harrison, he was a baby, whereas Dexter was just a young kid. And I think there's always the hope of Harrison that he would not remember that. Although I think it's clear there are something like that just got kind of etched in his memory. Which I get. But yeah, I think the Harrison stuff is kind of interesting. Like I said, I think my biggest animosity towards this series right now, number one, is a little slow going at times. But I do appreciate following up more of Dexter. The other thing that has me worried is kind of a lot of the ideas the series seems to be setting up. I'm not super thrilled with, because Dexter having a relapse, I think is completely fine. But I think if he really wants to change and stop it, I think he can. It might take time and it might not be perfect, but just because he has a relapse doesn't mean he's fucked. That he can get back on the horse essentially. And let's face it, none of the people he's killed, which so far only about 2 body counts so far this season.
Well, one was Matt Codwell. This other one is this guy who's selling fake drugs that are actually fentanyl, and to kids. So
I feel no sympathy for them whatsoever. Kind of like Dexter's original victims in the old series.
That's just that they both still they both definitely still match the code.
Yeah.
Matt Codwell, there was an incident, he was driving a boat and he killed 5 people and he made his friend take the rap for it.
Yeah. Douchebag.
Yeah, so they both absolutely fit the code.
Absolutely fit the code. No question. And I will say, I think it was in just last episode we got the Angel cameo.
Yeah, Batista's cameo, which
I appreciated, but I also felt a lot of his dialogue felt very cliche, and obviously I feel like they're just having him say stuff just for the story.
But Batista's best hits, it kind of felt that way a little bit.
Yeah, because he was talking all of it was just him talking about when you're looking for a serial killer, you gotta look for the pattern. And it's no shit.
Too many briefings.
Yeah.
He just got into the habit, you know.
And then eventually, like pretty much the scene is just between Angel and Angela, and at the end it wraps up with him saying, "Oh, who was really good? Who was a really good cop? This woman I worked with, Deborah Morgan." And she was like, "Oh, can I talk to her?" And she was like, and he was like, "No, you can't. She died. She died shortly after, or shortly before,
Or like around the same time
shortly
that her
before
brother.
her brother died, Dexter." And I don't, and then he just keeps on going, and it's really tragic because he left behind this young son. What was his name? Oh yeah, Harrison. And it's like, would you really just go that deep with somebody, like where you're just like recalling stuff? Like, by the way, I gotta tell you the name of his kid. And
I mean,
like, it really felt like the only reason you're doing that is just because she knows she's dating somebody named, fucking Jim Lindsay, who has a son named Harrison, who just came out of nowhere. And it's like, yeah.
Batista really felt like, Dexter was his boy. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I'm sure he thinks about Dexter a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably thinks of the kid too.
Yeah. But yeah.
But it was, I'll admit, it did seem like a little too plot convenient.
Yeah, very, very.
And then the last thing we saw from the series was his girlfriend, the chief of police, looking up some obituary photos and then just seeing what the fuck.
Yeah, we don't see her response, but we see the facts come in of the obituary for Dexter Morgan, and just right there, who she thinks is Jim Lindsay's face right there at the top. And it's like, so now next episode, I'm sure will just be her discovering that. We get to see that land, which I'm interested to see. I kind of want to see where this series plays out. So far, I would say as a season of Dexter, it's not one of my favorites at all. It's okay in my opinion. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I can appreciate that they're spending time and dedicating time to Harrison to build as a character.
Yes.
I'm curious where they're going to go with what they have, with what's on the burners right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's not thrilling me, but it's decent so far. But we'll see how it wraps up. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on New Blood. We'll wrap up the whole season, I think, next week. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Yes. But we also, what else we have next week is we're gonna cover the rest of New Blood. Then we're gonna do the new Netflix Knives Out movie, Wake Up.
Yes, that should be out then. Yeah.
And Eddington.
Yeah, I did a last minute change there because I just saw that came out, and I was kind of interested to check it out when that was in theaters. I think it's on HBO Max now.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's why do we have?
I don't know if we'll be able to cover that yet. I don't know if that'll be on streaming yet. Okay. That's why I put a little caveat.
Isn't that Jesse Plemons movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Jesse Plemons
plays a crazy person.
Yeah, Emma Stone. Yeah, she's like this corporate CEO, and he kidnaps her. Yeah.
Yes, that's what we have next week. Now, we also have a poll for the Schneiderverse Part 2.
Ooh, yes, we do.
Yes, and it looks like, we already have 60 people who have already voted for that, and that's amazing.
Damn.
Yeah, that is like a way better turnout. I like it. We got Deuce Bigelow, the Gigolo Saga, which is probably what I figured these two would take the cake. Yeah, but there's still time. We are doing it to the end of this month until New Year's Eve.
I would. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would. I don't know. No, we're covering all anyway, given due time. But guys, vote for Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams is right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's literally what I voted for.
That's what I voted for too. But we have that coming up. Pretty soon we're gonna have another poll up, and this one will probably be about the next series of films that we're doing, that we're kind of planning and talking about doing now.
Ooh, yes. We're talking about musical biopics.
Yeah, because was telling him he and I were talking last week about it, and I was saying how I think that there's probably like 5 of them which like the actor dived into, and and then started making me think about the other ones. So I found a list, and he and I are going to whittle that list down because it's super long. But there's a few on there that I know we've already covered a few different ones. Like we've talked about Better Man. We've covered Better Man. We've done Love and Mercy.
We've covered Weird,
and we did Weird.
Very touching. Very nice.
But there are plenty of other ones that we are gonna go over too.
And not one to pay for drugs.
I mean, but we're also thinking about capping it off with the greatest of those the greatest musical biopic about a fictional character of somebody who never existed, but it's making fun of all those, and that's Walk Hard. We're definitely going to cover that within this block of them, but we're going to watch a bunch of the tropes first, so that way we can laugh at the tropes when we're done. Keep that as our dessert after all of this.
That sounds wild, Chris.
I haven't added that one, but thank you. I will.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued and kind of scared at the same time.
There's a Jimi Hendrix movie that's like that, where they don't exactly have the rights.
How do you do that?
One is that they didn't have the music rights, and then the other didn't really have a likeness rights.
Ooh.
So it was he never had a Fender Stratocaster. And at one time he was playing one that was just a left-handed one. It's like he took a regular one and flipped it upside down and restrung it. Like it okay. But yeah.
But guys, thank you for voting. And if you haven't voted yet, what are you waiting for? Go to the podcast channel, go to post, vote for the Rob Schneider movie that you want to see us cover first.
Let us end this terrible idea that I have had.
You know what? I remember back in the day enjoying Deuce Bigalow and even Hot Chick, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember finding.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm always up for Rachel McAdams, so I'm not really looking. I'll be fine with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah. I have a feeling Deuce Bigalow will age like milk, but we'll see.
Yo, I'm absolutely positive it will.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be fun, and then the biopic should be fun as well.
Yeah. I believe there's a list of like 40 or so.
Yeah, I know you sent me an email that I just started looking over, and I was like, wait, I gotta get upstairs and get to the podcast.
Yeah.
I've heard terrible things about Norm of the North too.
Yeah. It was a democratic decision not to add that one.
But
the stipulation is we had to see his face.
I know on my channel, I'm trying to think what's going on. So obviously we'll do Shillcast Wednesday. That's right. Tomorrow I'm working late, and then I have to work early next morning. So I will not be doing anything tomorrow. That's right. I was debating doing a stream tomorrow, but no. But I will probably be doing a stream earlier on Thursday than normal. I might do like a 3:00 stream. I need to see when my daughter's concert is, but I'm off work, so I can do a stream earlier in the day. So I'll probably be on Thursday. And then that's it until probably the next podcast next week, which we'll see what day that ends up
being.
That
should be on it. That should be back to the regular day. We had
Tuesday. I'm 99% sure I'm going to be off next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
we had to reschedule it because tomorrow is Papa Quarter's birthday. So.
And honestly, like I said, it kind of works out because I'm working tomorrow night, and then I have to go in Wednesday morning. So, on days like that, it's always better to keep my schedule as free as possible. So I just get home, eat, try to pass out.
Yeah. It was the one I almost added was Bench Warmers, but I mean that one is John Lovett saves that movie.
No. But yes, I think that's my schedule for this week. Anything you want to add, Bobby?
No.
All right, so guys, party on and be excellent to each other.
Take care.